Hi, I'm Linda Rose.
And I'm Laura Marshall.
And this is our second special edition of Light Matters from Photonics West. We're filming at our booth where we did a Light Matters promotion yesterday and gave away a lot of t-shirts and made some great connections with people.
A lot of people stopped by to tell us how they're using light to change the world, so you'll see those mini interviews at the end of Light Matters episodes for the next month or two.
But the show also has a huge technical side too, and you've been attending some of those talks. Why don't you tell us about?
I've been to so many technical talks this week, trying to fit them in amongst my meetings, and one of the things that really stood out was the MOEMS MEMS plenary session earlier in the week. It was about developing diagnostics for the developing world, and some of the challenges that people who are working on these technologies face are power needs, infrastructure in the developing world, ease of use of the devices so that they can be used in the field, portability, sustainability, and some of the solutions that are in development right now are they're working on paper microfluidics and cell phone microscopy, and it's so fascinating, the different technologies and the solutions that they're coming up with for to meet these challenges.
And speaking of microfluidics, I met briefly with Mike Cumbo, who is the head of the Optics and Photonics platform for IDEX this morning, and IDEX is a microfluidics company that recently purchased CVI Mills Griot, and they own Semrock and AT Films. One of the things that he pointed out is that they are seeing this trend towards personalizing medicine and reducing the costs and shrinking things in the bio area. They're seeing he said a lot of the instrumentation that you see in labs and clinics today will be things that will be available in the future in the home, in your doctor's office, and in your pharmacy to do more rapid diagnostics of things.
Yeah, one of the other talks that I attended earlier this week was about a handheld OCT scanner for use in the primary care physicians' offices. And they've actually developed attachments for ear, mouth, eye, skin examination, and they have tested these, and it's something that could show up in your doctor's office very soon. It's really, really amazing work.
There was a little bit of interesting glitch happened at the Women in Optics reception that you went to. Why don't you tell us about that? That was Monday night?
Yeah, that was Monday night, and apparently there was a power outage in the entire South of Market district here in San Francisco, and it was kind of funny because it was Leslie Fishlock from Geek Girl, and she was probably giving the lowest tech presentation she will ever give, given what she does. And what she does is she tries to inspire girls and women to enter tech careers, to get more interested and involved in technology. And so it was just kind of funny that she had to give a very low tech presentation in the dark. Her PowerPoint kept up for a little while because the computer was on the battery, but then the battery died, and it turned into this really great conversation amongst the members of the audience and Leslie. And she just did a Q&A, talked about real issues that girls and women and people in underserved areas are facing in getting involved in technology. One of the key things for her is she's trying to give people the opportunity to learn more about technology. She said technology is the new education, and if you're not learning about technology on a regular basis, you're going to get left behind.
And another interesting talk I attended was the executive panel, which had some of the heads of companies like Edmund and Trumpf and IDEX and Newport and Coherent and Jenoptik. People have been talking because it happened just this week, that Kodak filed for bankruptcy. So it's been on a lot of people's minds. There's a lot of people here who have some connection to Kodak, whether they used to work there, they know someone who works there, they went to school in Rochester. Robert Edmund, the CEO of Edmund Optics, said that the collapse of one of our industry giants should be of concern to all of us, and there are lessons to be learned here. The question he raised, he didn't really have an answer, but one of the questions he raised is there such a thing as being too big or too diverse to succeed. You know, Kodak was the inventor of the digital technology, and they didn't do anything with that in a way that made sense. You know, they didn't take advantage of it from the beginning. And why did that happen? As I mentioned before, Michael Cumbo of IDEX started his career at Kodak, and he mentioned that the year he joined Kodak, 1980, there were about 60,000 employees, and just prior to filing, they had about 6,000. So it had been declining for years. Ken Kaufman from Hamamatsu said that he thought one of the problems was they didn't act fast enough. Other topics that they talked about was the need for R&D and profit margins and value-added solutions, how price-sensitive the market is, and the need to be vertically integrated. They talked about a number of important metrics for the business of photonics.
And we've actually seen a lot of the business of photonics here on the exhibition floor. Last year, people were saying that the energy in the hall was not so much cautious optimism as restrained exuberance, and this year people are telling me the spirit's about the same, the energy's the same, the leads are the same or better. It's been a really great show.
Yeah, I think that I'm also hearing that from people that, you know, maybe they didn't get as many leads as they might have in the past, but they think they're maybe higher quality, or that they are getting as much traffic as they did last year, and they're happy about that. So it seems to be a lot of conversations going on, at least. We don't know how much buying is happening, but there's definitely a lot of conversations and people interested, and a lot of really interesting new technologies being shown here.
Yeah, and something else that people are talking about is there's a lot of collaboration, it seems, amongst clients and manufacturers, suppliers. People are really looking at what specific applications people need these components or these instruments for, and how they can optimize their own products to fit those needs.
Also, innovation is a big buzzword, and nowhere was that more apparent than at the Prism Awards ceremony here at Photonics West, where we and our partners, SPIE, honored the best photonics innovative products of the year for the year 2011. One of the winners was OptoTune. They're out of Switzerland, and they made a laser speckle reducer for projection systems. I talked to one of the co-founders, Mark Bloom, and here's a little of our conversation. So Mark, we're now just a few hours after the ceremony, so how does it feel to be a Prism Award winner?
Feels good. No, it feels good. That was great. We had actually celebrated last night, so hope I'm not looking too tired. No, we got up at the booth and we had a good traffic this morning. People come to congratulate, you know, it's fun.
And your award's on display at the booth?
Oh yes, we put it in a glass case with shiny light on it, you know, so it's sparkly. That's nice.
Now, your company, you said last night you were surprised to have won because you are such a young company. Why don't you tell us a little bit about OptoTune?
Yeah, we are indeed a young company. We founded 4 years ago, and the speckle reducer actually is only about 2 years old. You know, we started out with focus tunable lenses, and the speckle reducer was something we developed along the way, and we launched it actually just a year ago at Photonics West. And so already 1 year later, we're up there, you know, nominated, and that was surprising because, yeah, it's still new to the market. Not that many people know it yet, and our competition was pretty tough. So yeah, happy we made it.
Now, the laser speckle reducer, is that for all projection systems or specifically for pico projectors?
Now, the principle really goes for all kinds of projection, and even in industrial usage, you know, for illumination purposes or metrology. The unique thing is really the actuation principle, you know, because you can move these diffusers by rotating them, by using other kind of motors, but what we have was electroactive polymer actuators, which make it really miniaturizable. That's for pico, but you can also build bigger systems, you know, even for cinema projectors. And yeah, with our polymers, so we're also kind of a materials company, and our polymers are so like transparent that you can put high power through them, and so that lends itself to also high power projection applications. So I really like to cover the whole range with that.
Now, in your application, you said this is one of the first uses of these polymers, which are also called artificial muscles, with optics. It's the first time those have been combined in a commercial product?
Yeah, we're particularly proud about that because, you know, electroactive polymers, it's a great technology. It's been out there for a while, just principle of having a polymer stretch when you apply voltage. That's what it is, and it can be used for mechanics too. Actuators, pumps, valves, even for like energy harvesting. And what we have done at Optotune really is specialize in small movements, but small and precise movements. And we got the process stable to be able to really like a neat and low-cost version of that. And so yeah, we now move diffusers. Maybe we're going to move other things. We can move diffraction gratings and other components too. But that's really the new thing. And yeah, there's not that many products out in the market using those artificial muscles. So happy about that.
So do you have something in the works that you're working on to show perhaps next year, or still in the planning stages? Or can you tell us what's next for Optotune?
Well, specular reduction is, on that front, we're now learning a lot about the optics behind the diffusers, and we're trying to get better diffusers out there to improve performance even more. And a lot of other developments are on the lens part of our company, the focus tunable lenses, where we make them smaller, we make them bigger, we make them faster. We go in different directions, listening to the market obviously, and that's why we're at the show here. So customers tell us what they want, and we go ahead and develop that.
And you've gotten a lot of interest here at the show?
Yeah, show's been great. As last year, we've been pretty busy. We're here with 5 people actually this year round. And we're pretty busy all the time, that's good, that's good. And fun thing is, customers start returning, and yeah, so you see that the whole effort, is worth it, and people remember and start doing things.
And this is your second year to exhibit here?
Right, second year.
And how would you compare this year to last year for you?
Well, last year we were overwhelmed just by being there, and everything was new, and I think the traffic is about the same, it's similar. But as I say, returning customers show up, and that's nice. So I think we got longer discussions, and it's more concrete, It's a pretty good show for us again.
Great. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
It was really good to get to talk to Mark this morning, and we actually traveled around and interviewed all of the finalists for the Prism Awards, and you'll be seeing the interviews on Photonics.com in the next month or two.
In the meantime, thanks for watching, and we'll be back next week.
Remember, it's only 5 minutes to enlightenment.
So I'm doing biophotonics studies. So our purpose is to understand how the cells are working, and well, at the moment there are no applications, but we believe that there could be some applications in the future in medicine.